So in this video, I'm going to share with you how I want your final 3D printing project to go and what the requirements are. And I really hope to be able to print either this assignment for you or possibly the clip, a design that you made earlier. That's going to depend on you. But I do want to go over what I want produced for this project. So I've attached the requirement sheet that I'm about to go over in the assignment. It is worth 50 points, so you need to take it seriously. You are going to design a gift that can be given to someone special in your life. This can be an ornament, a keychain, an ID tag, a charm, any number of things. But be very creative and stay within the requirements of the sizes below. And these make great gifts. Believe me, people love getting this stuff, and they're amazed that you were able to produce it. So here are some requirements. If it's a rectangular shape or maybe an oblong shape, an oval, we're going to start with a max length of 80, a width of 30 millimeters, and a height no more than 6 total. If you want it to be round or square or more of a uniform shape, then we're going to go with 65 by 65, height no more than 6. Okay, so make sure your measurements and placement of text and decorations are uniform and even. So use the alignment tool. And this asterisk part, very important. If your base is an odd shape, like a dolphin, or an asymmetrical shape like a saxophone or something, contact me for a different size approval. So if you need a little bit more room to fit things together, then just let me know, and it's usually fine. It just can't be too large because it takes a long time to print this stuff, and the material it takes is also costly. So just try to be close to these dimensions. If you'd like to put a hook in it, like a key ring, a hole, make sure it is large enough and close enough to the end to fit the key ring. And it should be 6 millimeters. It could be 7 or 8, but try not to make it less than 6 because the key ring needs some space to move around and to fit on there. And add any design elements that you wish as a decoration. So I've put on this a reminder of how to bring in Google Drawings and the fonts you like. And also, if I scroll down, how to import clip art like we did in the clip design. So if you forget how to do that, the information is here. You can check through it. So that's that. What I'd like to do is share with you a few of some past projects related to this. So I'll start with this one right here. These are all a few years ago, but this one here, very simple, but it is really well done. This is for a student, for a friend that played guitar. So this is a guitar pick clip art piece, and his name had 2 J's in it, so they put J2, but aligned it beautifully. And it's really simple. And I know for a fact that this person wore this around his neck quite a bit. So that was kind of cool. That one was good. This one was outstanding. So the person, this boy, had a girlfriend, AP. I don't know what her name was. I can't remember. But he brought in a heart and shelled that out a little bit. Put her initials in the middle. Put a couple of hearts in there. The stars are aligned beautifully. It was a good size. And we have an external ring that he put on. That's found in basic shapes. So he just jammed that in there. And it was a really good size, and the height was good. I think the height probably was around 6, so he could, get all these things in here. But, he did a beautiful job on that. All right, so let's see. This one, excellent. So this student was Korean, and she made this little keychain for her mom, and that's her mom's name. And she found some Korean writing somewhere, and so she put that on and embossed it. And what we did was she rubbed some permanent ink, like a permanent Sharpie, over top of it, and it makes the letters pop out really nicely. I know that was, I'm not sure what this says, but the mom was really touched by it, so that was a great gift for her. This one, not so great, because they just brought in a rectangle and then put Batman and found some weak little clip art piece and then slapped it on. Didn't align the hole right. So this is very average, just like maybe a C. So you want to be more, you want to design a little bit better than that for sure. And this one, this is kind of good. This one was made for some relatives that were, I don't know, getting married or something, but they found these hearts and they put them together. Everything's aligned really nicely, and they mirrored all this beautifully. I'm not sure what the significance of the antlers are or whatever, but this, this turned out really well. So that was a good one. So there's a few examples. If you have any questions about, what you want to put on there, you can let me know. Let me make myself bigger here. A few things I want to remind you of is if you're embossing, then your base does not need to be very high. You want to use the least amount of material as you can. You want the embossed part to be higher. So here's a good example of that. I made this is my Bitmoji, but the base is super thin. It's like 2 or 3. And the Bitmoji, I embossed at least 3 or 4, so it sticks up. And then I just put some permanent ink on there. So that, that turned out really fine. Again, the base does not need to be, very thick in that case. If you are etching, however, the base does need to be thicker. Maybe 6 would be good. And then you cut into it about 4 millimeters. That's what we did in class. So you put the work plane down on the very bottom and then just bump up the image 2 millimeters, just like we did a couple lessons ago. But this doesn't go all the way through. It's etched in. Everything's going to stay intact. So that turned out really nice. And one thing I want to say, this is kind of cool and cute, but what we have here is it's really hard to see the writing because it's so small. If it's in person, you can kind of see it, and I guess if you rubbed permanent ink on it, it'd be better. But here's the deal. You want the letters and words to be as big and bold as possible as you can fit onto the base, because the bigger the better. You'd be able to see it a little bit better. Now they did emboss it at a good height and all that, but you do want to make things as large as they can be. And remember that fonts need to be nice and bold and beefy when you do that. So those are some examples. Again, if you don't want this to be printed, you can print something else like your clip project, or if you have some spare time and you create something else that's within these dimensions, then I'll print those as well instead. So I want to try to print things for most people. Just make sure that everything is touching. That's very important. Everything's got to be touching and grouped together. And make sure that the design is sitting flat on the work plane at the bottom, because if it's not, it won't start printing correctly. So that's very important. Please just reach out. Let me know in the comments here in this assignment, or you can email me if you have any questions or anything. And I do hope to print these out. It'll take a little bit of time, but I'll get those to you in some way. I'll figure that out here shortly for those who are at home, but we'll figure it out. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. And I will send out another video very shortly on how you're going to send me the STL file, which is what I need to 3D print them. All right, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.